Hi and welcome to Split the E podcast. In this podcast, we take artists and entertainers out for a Guinness, for a drink, just to get to know them a little bit better. And my guest this week is none other than Ghettofab. Yo.
Hey.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
I'm so happy to have you on the show as well.
Thank you for having me.
You are the fabricator, one of the fabricators behind Icon Hip Hop.
Indeed.
And are you going to fabricate splitting this E today with me?
Yeah, you want to give it a shot?
Yeah. Well, I'll just explain it to people. We have to get that white line in between the G and the E. You split the E, the entertainment of Vancouver City. I'm a rapper already. Jesus, that's rhymed. You ready, lad? Cheers.
Not even close.
Oh, I swear I did this before.
Oh! Jesus, look at that, right on.
Yeah. How are you?
Nice, great.
Oh, watch your head, man.
Yeah, I just hit my head on this thing here, but
lovely.
other than that, good.
Designed lighting.
Yeah.
Not even close, no?
No, not even close. I'm well above the G. Yeah.
So this is your first time drinking Guinness in how long?
No, well over 5 years, I'd say. I wasn't really a Guinness drinker back in the day when I did drink alcohol.
Do you like it?
But, yeah, hell yeah, it's great. Honestly, it probably tastes a little bit better without alcohol.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
It's you were drinking the coffee beforehand, so it's kind of a cold brew.
Yeah.
You went from hot to cold. So man, come here. How did it all start? Where did you get influenced into music?
Into music. I was musical my whole life. I started off playing guitar when I was like 5 years old. I was in a whole bunch of really, really shitty punk bands in high school. Never went anywhere with that, but did some talent shows and this and that. So I was always, around gear and around musicians and around people that were kind of loosely involved in the scene. But I never took anything seriously.
Who was your bands that you were the punk bands that you were listening to back in the day? Then?
Back in the day, some Norwegian stuff, Lucifer, Turbo Negro. I don't even remember. I mean, some of the American stuff like Rancid and their offshoots like Lars Fredriksson and the Bastards and stuff like that.
How did you even get? Because for me coming over from Ireland, I never personally got into the punk scene at all. But we'd always hear, you'd watch, I don't even know if this is even correlated to close, but Blink-182 and American Pie, and then you're just watching that and you're like, okay, this is what America is, or the western side of the world is.
Yeah.
But obviously it's wider than that, right?
Yeah, and I mean it always just goes and goes and goes like anything else. You can zoom into it and just explore all the little tendrils and fractals of the different scenes and stuff.
Before we started recording, you had a really good analogy of how Icon Hip Hop started. You said it was like moss, and it just grows.
Yeah.
Anything like that's fucking sweet.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the lichen on the rock, right? But I really feel that way. I feel like all the things that have happened to get us to where we are right now have been so natural. The evolution's been so natural. All the people that have met and meshed together and started working well together, it's been such a natural process from start to finish. So.
That's exactly what you have. You started like a community and a movement.
Yeah.
It's not like an event.
Yeah.
It's nearly like going. I know it's on either it started off on a Tuesday or a Friday now. But it's kind of like going to church in a sense.
Yeah, a lot of people have compared it to that because I think that's something that humanity's kind of moving away from organized religion and stuff like that, but people still as individuals crave that community connection that believing in something together, that communal 100%. Belief in things is something that I think that humans have craved forever. Right?
The one thing that I found as well was went to your show last Friday. OTO fucking killed it. Unreal.
Oh yeah.
And the sense of just everyone being so friendly. The warmness that you get off just coming into the cypher. I seen you straight away and you're like, motherfucker, you know what I mean? But what I also found I can compare it to is going to a jiu-jitsu class.
Yeah.
But it's the community of you're going to get fucked up, but you could get lyrically fucked up.
Totally.
Does that make sense?
There's a respect in the room for people. Some people just
Yeah.
You know, like if people have their spots, the King Cass walks into the room and asks for the microphone, you fucking give him the microphone, you know what I mean? Like certain people, right? So
Unreal.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Jumping back to, so you're doing a bit of a punk scene, and then
yeah, it's funny you mentioned Blink-182. That was, I think, the first CD I ever owned in my life was Enema of the State, and I listened to it obsessively over and over and over again. And yeah, that launched my life down in that direction, and started listening to that kind of pop punk kind of stuff. And then that just got into high school. It got progressively grimier and dirtier, into
mossier.
Like, yeah, just you know, like Gigi Allen and shit like that. You know, I was wearing like studded vests and like leather and shit.
No
and
way.
Just going to punk
shows.
You have a
little dog tag on you.
Yeah, sort of. It's goofy shit, you know what I mean?
Man, when we were younger,
jeans and all that shit.
When we were younger, this is so embarrassing. But when we were younger, it was that age. I was probably like 12, but we were going on holidays, and we were all wearing the skateboarder, like, long, baggy jeans that the kids are wearing now. 90s, right? But fucking, we went into, like, Army and Navy, the equivalent of Army and Navy here, but back home in Ireland. And we all bought, like, a load of, like, mother bought us clothes for holidays. And we were like, I was like, I want this and I want that. Get me these two pants, these two skater boy pants, right? And fucking, we go on holidays with our cousin down to another seaside town, whatever. We're in a little kind of amusement park, and fucking, while we're there, I like bend down to tie my shoelaces, and my cousin's behind me, and she was like, "What's it say on the back of your skateboard pants?" I ended up getting women's pants, man. It said skater girl all along. Do you know, like, dope? Do you know, like, them shitty fucking... So all my whole family just, like, slagged the shit out of me.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know, yeah. Oh, it was a very, very, very embarrassing moment. I was, like, pulling down my pants, trying to walk, ran home straight away.
Absolutely, yeah, it's terrible, yeah.
Awful. Yeah.
I'd rather shit myself in True Religions. I tell you.
I know, yeah, 100%. I probably did. If you drink enough of this, man, you'll shit yourself in the morning. Cheers. Oh, so fucking did a couple of bands.
Did a couple of bands, and then eventually
wore the t-shirt and the baggy jeans.
Yeah, so like I had a guitar and an amp, and that's all that really like followed me out of high school. Was just this guitar that my dad bought me and an amp that my dad bought me when I was a little kid. You know, and I always had these two pieces of equipment. And years went by. I was a heavy drinker and a tradesman, and I got really into like fabrication of like boats and cars and motorcycles and stuff like that. I went down that whole road for a long time, and I don't know, it just led me to like the regular clockwork punch in, punch out lifestyle of a tradesman alcoholic, and I didn't really like the direction of my life. But while I was still, you know, in that, I bought this little, an ex-girlfriend of mine actually bought me a little loop pedal, this little red Boss RC1 loop pedal.
Yeah.
And it allows you to just record a little segment and then loop over top of that segment and over and over and over again. And it had two little inputs on it, and I could put a microphone and I could put a guitar into it. And I started making these little loops, and my friends, drunk tradesmen, would come over and spit raps over these little loops that I'd make. And you know, you couldn't save them or anything. You just make them and delete them and make it another one, and just, you know, it's like an Etch-a-Sketch for music, right? And, and then eventually I bought like a more sophisticated unit. I noticed a guy named Reggie Watts and fell in love with that guy and his production style and the way that he does his loops and everything. And
I've heard of Reggie Watts before.
Yeah,
how do I
big
know
afro.
Yes.
He's a looper, kind of a comedian, kind of a just all-around entertainer. Really interesting guy, really unique, really intelligent. But yeah, he rocks an EHX 45000, it's called, and it's a simple 4-track, multi-track looper that allows you to like put 4 individual pieces of music over top of one another and then mix them individually live. And also, it writes those 4 individual loops onto an SD card that you can then eject and then put into your DAW, right? You know what I'm talking about. So like you can, it trims them perfectly.
Yeah.
So that like they're just right stems, just right out of the machine into your thing. So it allows me basically to like the ability to like loop whatever I'm putting through
and
it
then put them over track as well.
Yeah. So like when I started and I had the microphone and the guitar, I built that up into eventually I put like a mixer into the 4-track looper, and then into the mixer I put guitar, piano, drums that are mic'd.
Just layering and layering and layering.
And then the big one was turntables. And as soon as I put turntables into the looper, everything changed.
Yeah.
Because I realized like I love digging so much, and then I started that, lifelong addiction, and I'm never gonna go back.
Yeah.
Like I've spent probably well over 10,000 on records, just $5, $8, 20, 40 at a time, and build up your collection and start sampling drum loops and old country records and anything I can get, and then I found like that just rather than like the conventional method of like ripping a sample into an MPC and then like chopping it up, with an MPC, I would act kind of as the MPC, and I would just use the turntable and the mixer to cut and fade, and kind of like once I got my drum loop in there and figured it out, and like fucking or whatever.
Would you mark it down with a little plaster? Or?
Not really. I mean, for the most part, you can just kind of see it, and then oftentimes like you see like if the center of the record had this, you'd be like, oh, there's the L and the E, and then you can just kind of like, there's your landmark, and I know that it's kind of over there, so it's you just and the way that the looper works really, it's great. It's got this like punch-in function that allows you to basically like, I want to fill track 2, so I go from 2, punch in, record, and then I can just keep going until I get one that I like, and the second I get one I like, I can just hit record again, and it'll take the previous 4 bars.
Oh shit!
And lock it in.
So you went from punching in at work to punching in on the loop pedal.
That's why you're a podcaster and I'm a producer. Man's got away with words.
There you go.
But so I mean I started making beats that I really liked, and then I got a computer that had 16 gigabytes of RAM, which was just enough to be able to run Final Cut Pro, and I got a pirated version of that, and I started making goofy little 1-minute music videos out of these loops that I'd make, right?
No way.
Yeah, so like, I don't know, I just filmed whatever. I filmed all kinds I filmed a girl smoking, and just try and make a little thing out of it, and just add one of my loops to it, and just make a little 1-minute music video, and I post it on Instagram. Because for the longest time, Instagram had a 1-minute video cap, right?
Yeah.
So that
now
was,
it's kind of
everything I was trying to make 60 seconds, and trying to get right in there, and trying to land it on the sweet spot, right? And 52 to 60 seconds, depending on wherever the bar is going to end, right? And try and make it seamless and smooth, right? And yeah, I just started making video after video after video, and I got kind of good at the basic operation of all the different studio equipment.
Were you just posting them on YouTube then?
Instagram. Yeah, I didn't even post them on YouTube.
Are they still on your Instagram?
Some of them. So if you look back at the very beginning of my Instagram, there's probably half a dozen still on there.
No way.
Some of them I archived because they're a little cheesy or whatever. But
it's kind of like that Game Boy 8-bit shit, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I got one with my buddy Kelly that's just like that.
No way.
Yeah, we used the Castlevania background and like inserted him over top of the Castlevania background, and he's like the character, and it's kind of a cool little medley, and there's like Bill Gates talking in the background. It's fun shit. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick.
I would do that as well. I'd take like audio of like people talking and different like just different parts of culture in general, and try and like sew together a bit of like a little audio collage on top of the beats.
As a producer, have you heard of Fred Again?
No.
I'll send him on to you. He's me, my brother. We all kind of come from that like underground electronic music scene. But what he does, he is classically trained in England, but he kind of created his own genre, to be honest. And him and Skrillex just got like nominated for 2 Grammys. Is it Grammys or Golden Globes? I can't remember.
Grammys.
But he takes like people. He kind of like blew up, or I think it was through COVID, or I found him through COVID. But he would take like a recording of someone talking or like doing slam poetry, and he'd put that over like a garage beat.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking serious. I'll send some on to you.
Yeah, it's really fun to do that kind of stuff and find your in and out points and make it all sound kind of cool.
Yeah,
you can take things out of context in that situation. Or I've had great success with like certain movie clips that I like a lot or whatever, like where somebody says something powerful, I think, and then kind of just arrange that in a way that it seems to flow with the beat.
Fact. How did you get the name Ghettofab?
Ghettofab. I actually, that goes back to that, I just touched on the fact that I was building motorcycles and cars
Being
for a long
fabricator.
time. Yeah, as a fabricator, so I don't know, I just, I had a way about like, you know, I'd get an old 70s dirt bike and I'd rip it apart, put it back together in, you know, a matter of a week and a half and flip it for whatever, turn it into like a flat track or a little street tracker bike or something like that and flip it. And you know, I got really good at like doing the Ghettofab special, right? And I'd just like, I'd get a piece of shit bike that didn't run and I'd make it into a nice, quick little easy sale that, you know, and I'd make $1,000 or whatever and sell a bike. And
I was thinking before the show, there was either two, where I was on the fence about the whole thing, right? I was like, did he go down the street of Childish Gambino and go into the, have you heard about this? How Childish Gambino, Daniel Glover, got his name. He typed it into the Wu-Tang name generator, rap name generator. And that's how he got it. And RZA, I believe it's RZA who actually like designed that like algorithm or whatever to create people's names. So you type your first name in and it just comes up. Typed mine in and it came up with the worst name ever. But I think it's like Sean the Ill Fragile or some shit like that. I swear to God. Ill Figure, yeah. Fragile's even better, to be honest.
20 years ago, if you told me that DaBaby was going to be a good rap name, then I would call you crazy. But what the fuck do I know?
Or Lil Nas X.
Sure, yeah. I didn't get that at all. As soon as I heard Lil Nas, like, I feel like you go to Queensbridge with a name like Lil Nas X, you get smacked the fuck out. Like, how's that gonna work?
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite rapper now?
Right now? I don't know. It's tough to say. Like, I don't really follow like the rap scene as it.
You were like saying, like texting me, and you were like, all I do is the cypher, basically.
Literally, yeah. It's just the cypher, and what I listen to is like, for the most part, just the coolest shit that we've recorded throughout the 2.5 years we've been doing this. And I mean that. I mean, I listen to like YouTube. We have a SoundCloud where I'll put up like, you know, the dopest audio that we'll capture and
your
stuff.
fucking YouTube is ridiculous.
It's dope. It's so underrated. It's insane. It's the most authentic and realest hip hop shit on the internet.
I want to go into, we will go into the whole starting of it, but in the moment, right, like you create the beats, or would you create most of the beats that are going to be played in the cyphers?
Oh, not at all. Not even close.
No?
Not even remotely
You're
close.
obviously picking them and whatnot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you tell the artist what beats you're coming? Never, no. So it's literally all on the fucking moment.
Completely in the moment, yeah, 100%.
Dude, it's too fucking good, man.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Yeah.
Last week, just before OTO, King Cass and Channel 5, they were going back to back, literally like bumping mics, you know what I mean? And my mind was blown. Dude.
Yeah.
It's such fucking...
Yeah, it's amazing to look at it like, like rap can be looked at in a cypher like a team sport if you play it right, you know? And that's kind of what we're looking at, right? Like I think back to that like Vancouver Canucks heyday, you know, Bertuzzi, Naslund scores, right? And you got like Noble and Truth and all these different characters, right? And they're passing the puck and they get a good rally going and then bam, score and everyone goes, ah! You know, it's like, it's kind of cool to see it that way. See it unfold that way. It's not like dog eat dog or as competitive as like some of the other movements have been in the past.
So we all stand on the shoulders of giants, as they say.
Absolutely.
So let's go back to the very beginning. Icon Hip Hop. Where did that get its name?
Icon Hip Hop. Yeah, we were. Well, what originally happened, I'll take you through a bit of the origin story here. What originally happened is there was a dude that was running a small organization called Canadian Underdogs, and he had a little cypher, like him and like 4 or 5 guys would hang out at a place called the Cleveland Dam, and they would play.
Where the fuck is that, man?
Cleveland Dam is in North Vancouver. It's a really, really beautiful place and a great like afternoon walk if you want to go. I don't know, take a dog out or some shit. Maybe not a date. I don't know. I guess maybe a date, but.
Right. I thought you were like a dog. Different terminology, maybe.
Walk it. Yeah. Yeah. No comment. But yeah, so they had this thing at like at Cleveland Dam, and then they started collaborating with the Vancouver Latin Freestyle.
They're still going.
They're still going, yeah.
And going fucking great.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's when I kind of like caught the eye and I was like, oh damn, those guys are doing some cool shit. And I'm at home making my goofy loop videos by myself with no friends. And I saw they were doing cool shit, and I was like, oh, there's rappers, and I saw a video of Truth spitting, and I was like, that guy's fucking awesome. I'm gonna go find that guy, and I'm gonna go make an album with that guy. And that's exactly what I did. I went down to, by the time I went down for the first time,
how old were you at this?
I'm 33 now, I was 30 then.
Okay, yeah.
So, but yeah, by the time I went down there to first go like meet that little crew, they had moved from the Cleveland Dam to Leaside Skate Park to collaborate with the Vancouver Latin Freestyle that was a little bit more East Vancouver based. Right?
Is that in the videos of this really big, massive, like half pipe?
Yeah, exactly.
That's that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But so from there I just came down. I saw like freestyle, Bluetooth speaker, 3 hours. Latinos showing up, rapping crazy shit in Spanish, and like just this wild like weed smoke, bass bouncing off the walls. I was like, this is fucking cool.
Sick, yeah.
I was at the time I was really obsessed with like Kill Tony.
Nice.
And I was watching that like nonstop. So I don't know, my head was just in like the long form podcast kind of mentality, and I had this production skill and I had some basic equipment, and I was like, I'm gonna come back next week with an interface. And I'm gonna record everything. I'm gonna give these guys microphones to spit into, and I'm gonna multi-track the entire 3-hour session, and I'm gonna film it, and then I'll be able to have good quality audio that's not gonna be all messy in camera and
wobbly or whatever. Yeah.
And I'll be able to sync that to the video footage, and mute the camera audio obviously, and then have good quality audio with video, right? So essentially what we did at that point was we made like if anyone remembers the old school Canada shit, Speaker's Corner, we made like a hip hop Speaker's Corner, like where you could just, anyone has the right to just walk up to our cypher, grab a microphone and get recorded.
Yes. Still
and
to this day.
To this day, right?
Yeah.
And then you go home and a couple weeks later, out comes the video on YouTube. You can take that, you can rip it, you can take it, you can post it on your own YouTube, you can post it on Instagram, you do whatever you want with it, right? We do it like a public service so that people can have access to that content. That was the original concept behind the whole thing, was to create that like funnel.
That's literally the seed of making a community there as well.
It's exactly, the whole thing was based on that content creation, and that's what built that like perpetual motion that like this whole movement's been riding on, I think. But yeah, so the guy that originally started it, that was holding down the cipher before I showed up, when, like I say, I stress it, like at the time it was like 4 to 10 people, Bluetooth speaker, I just took it to another level, and that guy wasn't able to keep up.
Yeah.
And
what you said it was, what was the name of it back then?
Canadian Underdogs was the name of the outfit, and that's the name of the. They still exist.
Yeah.
You know.
When did Icon Hip Hop officially do their first show?
Well, officially, it's tough because like the thing is like we were kind of like we were under the Canadian Underdogs name for the entire period of Leaside.
Yeah.
And we did 12 weeks at Leaside. We filmed and recorded 12 3-hour ciphers at Leaside. Put that all on the internet. And when I say we, I mean I. At that point, there was no Truth. There was no Soul. Like Truth was there being filmed as a rapper, but like we didn't really know each other. And
this is even before the album. You obviously knew who he was.
I knew
right?
who he was,
yeah.
and I knew what I wanted to do. But it all takes time, right? And so there was no Soul, no Saber T, no Val, no nobody. So I mean, at that time, it was all just me. And then eventually, it got really cold. We had a lot of skateboarders coming up to us on a regular basis, being "Get the fuck out of here," which fair enough. I mean, it's the only undercover.
I thought they would like it though.
Well, you'd think so, right?
But they're
it's only 3 hours once a week, right? But and on a Tuesday, no less. But at the same time, it's like it's the only undercover area in the city to skateboard.
Right.
So even though it's only 5 skaters or something that we're blocking, it's still like. And the way that the park's set up too, it fucks up their lines, right? Because like if you're blocking this corner, then all of a sudden you can't use any of that, or that, because you need that corner to whip in or whatever the fuck. I don't know how to skate, but
goddamn skaters.
Yeah. So they would come over and very reasonably request that we move along most of the time.
I thought you were going to say they were going to request Lupe Fiasco, kick, push, kick, push.
Yeah. Great song.
It's a sick song.
Yeah, but then like the people that we used to associate with, they were very much of the of the gang, yo, fucking fake gangster world, right? With the, fake Rolex and all that shit, and just going on about like,
Killing
we're
bitches
hardcore and
yeah.
stuff. When none of them have ever been in a fight, you know what I mean? They're all just little
Mouths.
kids or mouths, or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Like, and so they'd start acting up with the skaters, and there'd just be all this beef, and we're like, oh my god, are we really being represented by these fucking guys, right?
That's them crab apples.
It's
The
embarrassing
bad apples,
as hell.
sorry.
Yeah, really embarrassing. But that went on. We left Leaside because of that, because of like the consistent issues with the skaters and the Canadian underdogs. And then we were looking for a place, and Truth found the Mountain. Truth, through a friend of his, found this place called the MOTN. It was like the biggest stop on our journey so far.
The Mountain right now is known as a comedy club.
It is.
But the Mountain you were at, unfortunately, got burnt down. And where was that? Was that on Marine Drive?
No, that was a 582 Powell. It was Powell and Princess in the hood.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea where that is. But
we crammed that thing with weed smoke and rappers and heads every single Tuesday for 21 weeks.
Yes.
Well, 21 episodes. It was a little bit more than that in time, but yeah. We shot 21 cyphers there.
It's a fucking sweet little spot.
It's insane. So anyways,
looks like a spot. I've never been there, but yeah.
Right? What is the Mountain? At the time, like, we were just looking for anything indoors where we could spit. We didn't give a shit at all. It would have been a broom closet. It was fine. Just get us inside.
Yeah, inside.
And we didn't know what it was. We weren't like event promoters. We weren't like bookers. We weren't booking stuff. We didn't like, you know what I mean? It was just like, we just want a place to rap that isn't fucking cold.
Yeah.
And a place where we can record this cool stuff. And we found this place, and it's got graffiti all over the walls.
Man, you didn't do any of that?
We didn't do any of that. We had nothing to do with any of that.
Holy fuck.
The guy, Austin, who ran it, he's a fantastic venue curator.
Just to say, is it the same Mountain? Are they the same people?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
oh,
100%.
Fucking shout out. What he's doing now is sick.
Yeah. At the time, like, we just wanted anything, a broom closet, fucking give us 4 walls and a door. We want to go inside, and we want to rap. And friend of a friend, Truth's friend Detour, like, let us know about this place, the MOTN. We set up.
What's it stand for, actually?
Middle of the night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, I set up a meeting with Austin. Went down there, talked to the guy, saw the place, felt it immediately. I knew that I was walking into the home of the cypher the second I walked in there. You can feel it when that happens, you know.
Yeah.
It's just too perfect to deny.
There's like graffiti on the walls and everything, isn't there?
Yeah, it was like ordained, man. It was literally perfect.
It's literally made for the cypher.
It was the perfect size, and it had a sound system that was considerably larger than anything else we had access to at the time. So we were able to pack like 50, 60, 80 people in that room.
When you say they had a sound system, you were still bringing your turntables and all that?
I was bringing 5-inch blown-out studio monitors to the skate park week after week, and running them off of
getting
a
rattled
12-volt
every
battery.
time you had to bring there. Yeah.
I ran them off a 12-volt car battery through a 1,500-watt inverter.
Oh my god!
And had my little setup and 2 plugs and
yeah. All you need. Yeah. All you need. Yeah.
Yeah, it's plenty. So, but yeah, no, I mean that was plenty to get started with. But when it came time to up our game at the MOTN, like Austin was there. He had all the like infrastructure for a really legitimate operation, and we were allowed to like kind of stretch our legs and have some freedom to move around in there. He wasn't very like strict with like, us paying him and stuff. So he was really like, he was a big believer in the whole cause anyways too. Like we only paid for the first couple months, I think.
No way.
He was just like, don't worry about it. This is too cool, man. Like, let's go. So he was just happy to be
I'd say he was
part of
enjoying it, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it brought business to the Mountain too. It brought a lot of people to the place, and brought a lot of people into his scene and stuff like that too. So I think it was really mutually beneficial. But above everything, it was built on the love, man. Like he really cared, and we really cared, and he could tell that we really cared, and we were really real about it, And I think that's what led to like the synergy there for sure.
So when you were doing it there, that was still under underdogs, or was it you did 23?
Yeah.
And then how did it switch and change?
For the first, like for most of that Mountain era, we were the Canadian underdogs. But I mean, for no reason other than the name, like we that Canadian Underdogs is something that belongs to a guy named Sam Burrows, and Sam Burrows does what he does. He basically he works with a handful of different venues in town, and if you're like a new modern trap rapper, you should probably reach out to him because he'll get you on stages like Fortune Sound Club and Levels and shit like that. Because they do like Friday nights and sometimes they do Thursday nights of like different performers that like, but it's very, very modern, it's not like a hip hop. It's not what you see when you come to the cypher where it's like smoked out craziness and break dancers and real spitters doing real shit, right?
100%.
It's a lot more that like, the Canadian Underdogs were very about that, like the modern sound, the trap hi-hats, the 808s, the Toronto style, the gang ya fam, like that shit, whatever, you know what I mean? And yeah, and it just didn't jive with me. It didn't jive with all the heavy hitters at the cypher. We're just kind of like, they didn't like that attitude. They didn't like that. Because, I mean, there's a lot of bullshit that comes with it, and it's a lot of fake gangsters, honestly. Like, there's a lot of fake gangsters come around that crowd, and that whole community is filled with that kind of behavior, and it's childish and nonsensical. So we tried to distance ourselves from that as much as possible, like, throughout that process, and then it just got too fucked up at one point. There was this camping trip. I can't believe I'm fucking telling this story. I should have like my handler here being like prodding me and saying like, shut up. So there's this camping trip, right? Sorry guys. And we did 2 of them. The first one, it was organized by me, and it went off without a hitch. We rented a sound system. We borrowed a sound system from Vancouver Live Freestyle. The guy, Sam Burrows, his family owns a property in the middle of fucking nowhere in Saskatchewan. It's a beautiful property, and there's a river running through it.
Oh, you went fucking camping.
We went motherfucking camping,
yeah. Right.
So we were way out there, and yeah, I built a little stage on the back of my utility trailer, and I brought that up, and
no Ghettofab job.
Oh, totally, yeah, exactly, right? And we had a big giant JBL Bluetooth speaker, like the big huge ones.
What
it's
kind
like our
you do,
PA and shit. And it was just so ghetto, but like it worked, and it was fun. And we booked, I don't know, probably a dozen artists, and it was just some bullshit pretend music festival that was like, I don't know, it was fun. It was a great time, right? And
we did our own ones. We used to go out to Squamish Valley Road.
Oh yeah.
And just like, I think we called them like out in the boonies or just like fucking raves. But
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can get pretty wild up there. A lot of freedom up there for sure. But yeah. So the guy Sam, he wanted to do another trip, and he wanted to do it like way too fast after that. And he's like, he wanted to do it like a month later, and I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, I can't bite that off, man. Like, I can't.
People need to relax.
I can't, you know, I need my time, and I had other stuff going on, you know, family stuff and whatever, and I'm like, I don't have the energy, I don't have the ability to do that right now, I can't take that on, so if you want to do it, you got to do it. So he goes, okay, I'll do it, me and this other guy, little guy, we'll take care of the whole thing, we'll plan it all, we'll do the whole thing all ourselves, we don't need any help, we'll take care of everything, you just have to show up and have fun. I go, okay, sure, sounds good.
Were you even planning on showing up?
I was planning on showing up, of course, yeah. But, you know, and then it was 3 days before the show. It was literally 3 days before a camping trip, music festival as he's advertising it, right? And they didn't have a sound system, they didn't have a stage, they didn't have a lineup, they didn't have anything figured out. They had a couple of artists confirmed here and there, and
bit
it was
of a fire festival,
bullshit, total fire festival, absolute, you know, selling tickets, pocketing cash, and not making a single fucking thing happen. No power, no cables, no nothing. Nothing figured out, you know what I mean? So there I am, once again, Ghettofab. There's everyone going, hey buddy, yeah, it's really hectic, yeah, oh yeah, can you help us? And okay, so I'll fucking, every last thing. I got the sound system, I got the stage, I got it all figured out, and got it all set up, and brought it all up, and did it all. And one of Sam's like, he's got this buddy named Rami who's like, they grew up together or whatever, and they're like tight friends, and but at the same time, like it's a weird situation where like Sam bullies this kid like heavy, like he'll like film like, and like before any of this happened, like he'll like film just like chucking like chubby sodas. I don't know if you know what those are, but like little pops, like full pops, like just hucking them at this kid till they explode on him and stuff, and like and just beating him up when he's drunk and shit like that, and doing like dumb shit. You know, they always yeah, he's just an asshole, and he bullies the fuck out of this kid who is still always loyal and nice to him regardless of the way that he treats him. So it's this weird little relationship that was always there. But the kid Rami at the time, I don't know how he's doing now, but he had a pretty heavy drinking thing going on, and he was drunk out of his mind, and he attacked an artist on stage.
Oh fuck, and, Jesus!
it was kind of jovial at first, and it was like, oh, he's trying to do a funny thing, but it wasn't funny, and the artist was like upset, and
Was the artist performing at the same time?
He was in the middle of performing, yeah.
Oh man.
And I use the term artist loosely.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy, but you know who you are. And so it got worse and worse and worse, and he kept attacking the guy, and then they kept trying to get him out of there, and then eventually
that's shite.
Yeah, and he attacked him again, and I was like, okay, you gotta go.
Was it like, you don't have to explain it, but there should have been like a backstory for him just doing it, or he was just drunk?
No, he was just drunk and he thought he was being funny. He thinks, like, at the time he thought he was like a comedian guy or something like that, and it was just alcohol. But
man.
You know what I mean? He thought he had this thing going on. It wasn't what he thought it was. It wasn't coming off as how he thought it was
slapstick,
you know what I mean?
But he was being a spastic.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I mean, it's just drunk shit, right? People do dumb shit when they're drunk. You think you're being suave and you're just a, gross 100%. Drunk at the bar.
That's why you don't drink anymore.
One of the many reasons. But, that night, I may or may not have been on a half a hit of acid. But yeah, I was having a great night. I was doing sound with my buddy Matt Truitt's right beside me, and he's DJing. I'm doing sound. We're just laughing like we're both high on acid, just having the greatest night ever, laughing away and like joking and fooling around. And it's so much fun. And then
Were you still kind of like you've obviously overcome the actual like logging up all of this shit, and you're
I'm having fun now. Yeah. So and I'm running sound on this new setup that we got and everything, so like after Rami attacks this guy for the third time, he tripped all over the speaker setup and all the fucked up my cables, and he broke off a cable inside a speaker and shit, and shit. You know what I mean? And you can't fix that right away. You got to deal with it and fuck around. And I got pissed off. I was like, Rami, you gotta get the fuck out of here right now. I kind of grabbed him a little. I was like, it's time to go. Drag him along. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're not coming back. Go somewhere else. Like, you gotta go calm down. You're being you're making this hard for everyone, right? Like, trying to kick him out of the situation. And he finally goes, and then there's Sam. Goes right up to him immediately. Sam starts slapping the shit out of him. No one had hit him at all until Sam goes up to him and starts slapping the shit out of him and then pouring a beer on his head. So now the drunk and hysterical guy is 15 times more hysterical and ready to fucking fight, so he starts flailing around, and then he hits this other dude, Detour, for no fucking reason, who's just minding his own business, standing there, fucking not involved in the situation at all. He's literally standing there with a beer in his hand, just chilling, and then all of a sudden gets smoked in the face by this Rami guy,
Oh, nice. Was music going on, or was it like...
Yeah, bro. Homie Kevin Safar was playing a song called We Lit and We Do Not Give a Fuck. This is how... I don't know. It's fucking hilarious. But that was literally playing in the background. Safar's just like doing his thing. And then, Rami punches Detour, and Detour is not a small guy, you know what I mean? And he was pissed off, so right away he wants to go and beat the shit out of Rami, and I'm like, that can't happen. Like, that cannot happen. We can't have
too many times right now.
Yeah, right? So I dive in and get in between the two. I'm like, yo, you over there. That's not fun, because Detour's like trying to get through me to get to him, right? So I'm dealing with that, trying to separate the two guys. And then Rami
sounds like an episode of Trailer Park Boys.
It just got worse and worse and worse and worse, and developed into more. All we were trying to do was get Rami away from Detour, because all of a sudden, all these guys, they're all like, they all want to be hardcore.
Yeah.
So when they have an opportunity to beat up a guy, especially a guy like Rami, who, by the way, to set the scene, he weighs about 100 pounds soaking wet, and he's not intimidating even slightly. So to have the excuse to beat up a guy who clearly can't defend,
beer over
to beat up a guy who clearly can't defend himself, like, for some of these weaker-minded rappers, like, to them, it's like this opportunity to go out and flex and be the guy that, you know what I mean? Like, so I can, go knock him out, and I can tell everybody that I knocked the guy out, or whatever, right? So I know this is happening, and I can see all the gears turning in all these retards' heads, and they're all trying to come, beat up Rami now, and to be the big tough guy or whatever, because they all just see an easy fucking
story,
low-hanging fruit, right? Credibility bullshit, but But yeah, I mean, we just did our best to try and separate them and get Rami isolated and away. And in doing that, he started attacking Truth really badly. Like he got a hold of Truth's hair, and then he was like gouging his eyes and pulling at his face and shit, like the drunk guy was, right? Rami, yeah. And it was a total mess. And I was trying to get him, and at one point I was like, Rami, you need to let go right now, or I'm gonna hit you. Rami, I'm gonna hit you in a second, man. I'm sorry, but like, dude, you gotta get off of here, And thankfully,
Shit just got way out of
I didn't
hand.
have to hit him, nobody ended up actually having to hit him or anything like that. But like, yeah, it got way out of hand, and Sam was instigating the entire fucking thing, man. Him and his behavior, slapping the kid around, pouring beer on his head, making him freak out. You know what I mean? He amped him up the whole time, nonstop. You're a fucking idiot, Rami. You're a retard, Rami. Blah, blah, blah. And all this stuff. All me and Truth tried to do was get this guy isolated, get him safe, keep him away from all these goombas that are trying
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and then so I wake up the next morning. I'm like, well, I'm never going to work with Sam ever again. No matter what. I'm gonna pack my shit up right now, and I'm gonna leave, and I'm never gonna talk to him again. And the only time I ever talked to him was the following week's cipher. It was called the Red Cipher. we lit the cipher with a different color all the time, right?
Game of Thrones, Red Wedding.
Yeah,
Everyone got fucking chopped up.
It was crazy, man. Yeah, but we lit it red, and we'd never lit it red. It was always blue or green or yellow or something, right? We lit it red this night, and it was just like, it's coming. After this cipher, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna axe this motherfucker and tell him that it's over and you're gone, and we can't have this kind of shit behavior around our organization anymore, because it's keeping us down, it's holding us back, and it's keeping us down in the depths with all this fucking dumb gang bullshit. Pretend fucking wannabe gangsters, you know? Which is not what hip hop is about, and it never was in the first place. It's not even about real gangsters. It's not about gangster shit at all.
It's about poetry.
Poetry, expression, love, bro. Community. It's
you
obvious.
even see that from the NWA
so
with Ice Cube on the bus, the very first scene in that movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I mean, we axed him and we told him this is enough. You have to go. You can't do this anymore. You take a Canadian Underdogs and go somewhere else with that. We're gonna stay here at the Mountain. We're gonna continue to do our cipher here, and you can go do whatever you want to do, man. But we're not gonna take your name. We don't want anything to do with that. We still had, because I started the YouTube channel under the name Canadian Underdogs, right? So as it sat there for the longest time, as that, like, I wanted to change it to something else, because he's all like, oh, you gotta change that, that's my name, I'll never, you're bullshit content, I don't want any fucking blah, 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 like, just spite.
In your sense as well, you're like, I don't want your shit too.
I don't want anything to do with it. I mean, the name, honestly, the name Canadian Underdogs is fucking awesome.
You like it, yeah?
That's a great name, too.
Okay.
But I didn't want it.
It sounds like an ice hockey team.
And the thing was, at no point I wanted it, because the whole point of it was trying to disassociate with him.
I'm not being biased, but Icon Hip Hop is way better.
You think so?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It sounds, from an Irish perspective, it sounds like an ice hockey team. And that's not a diss on anything. Good on them, but yeah. Icon Hip Hop is the way to go. And even when you see the rappers on stage, like, Icon Hip Hop, man, that's fucking sick.
It fucking goes hard, but...
It does, man, yeah. So how did it all start then?
Yeah,
where did that name
basically,
come?
he wanted like us to change. He was making all these threats and stuff too, saying like he's gonna show up at my house with a car full of people and they're gonna fuck me up and beat my family up and all this shit, right? And again, pretend completely. I'm not afraid of one of these guys at all. Like, they know where I live. They're not doing anything. But they're still making threats and stuff, and that doesn't feel good. And they're being very public about it on Instagram and all this, and saying that we're this and we're that. And immediately he starts telling everybody in the city I'm a crackhead and a thief, and I stole their sound system, and I smoke crack, apparently. I have no idea, like, where, I guess, I don't know, maybe I look like a crackhead, but I don't think I look like a crackhead. I don't know.
You look healthy, man.
Yeah, I feel like I go to the gym like 4 times a week.
Yeah.
I don't know, live super healthy. I don't drink or
what
party
the
and use
fuck?
drugs and eat spinach and chicken all day, so whatever.
Middle name's Popeye.
Yeah, and the guy who's telling you that I'm a crackhead also for sure has a mustard stain on his shirt right now, right this second. Like, I don't even have to look.
Too much hot dogs, man.
100%. Yeah, Canadian underdogs.
Oh, the doggy dogs. Yeah.
Glizzies.
Yeah.
But
Straight from Costco.
no, not even. He's into
I'm
the
joking,
Walmart
man.
fucking the 20 packs, man. Cheap
Oh,
fuck.
wieners.
Won't even let me buy the good ones to sell at the fucking spot. Hey. Where were we?
A load of shit, to be honest.
It's a load of shit.
Yeah,
it was tough to get out of there, man.
just
So we were fleeing like
fuck,
refugees
man.
from that fucking whole situation, just trying to collect what we could from the split. You know, there was money that we had been building up because we were doing showcases once a month, and a lot of money had built up in the community. I think at the time it was like $2,500. 500 of that we spent on the sound system. We bought used off of Craigslist. I bought used off of Craigslist a $500 sound system, and that's what I supposedly stole from the Canadian underdogs. It was in my possession when we split, and I was like, whatever, I'm keeping the sound system, you keep the 2,000, and do whatever you want with it. I don't give a fuck. I don't ever want to see you again. Stay the fuck away from me. And I thought that was an incredibly fair deal. You got to keep fucking $2,000.
Yeah. Go buy your own one for fucking.
Yeah, exactly. Or learn something, or buy a MacBook, or figure out how to produce, or any fucking thing that contributes to the hip hop.
Get more hot
community,
dogs.
Or eat more fucking hot dogs and spill more mustard on your shirt, you fat fuck. But we needed to name something new like right away. We needed to name an Instagram.
At this time as well, were you still trying to do it like week by week?
Yeah. We never stopped. We never missed a cipher. We didn't miss a single cipher ever.
And never have.
We did for a small period of time before Santana's.
That's when I was
There was a
introduced
short break.
to you. Yeah. Go on anyway. So Icon
so
Hip Hop,
I mean,
the name.
Icon Hip Hop. We were looking for a name.
Were you
and
spitballing like
we were spitballing about like the NHL and shit, and like MLB, and like these big giant like
corporations,
Ultimate Fighting Champion, UFC and shit like that. And you're just like, look at this, like that's what we want to shoot for, right? So we started thinking like the International Cypher Organization.
Okay.
So is that like Icon, right? Yeah. So we just named it Icon Hip Hop arbitrarily. That doesn't really line up because like organization O-N, I don't know, whatever. But I'm just like,
The name sticks, man.
it sticks. Sounds good. So
who gets to claim the actual like christening of coming up with that name, or was it
me,
a group?
unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cheers, man. That's
I'm not
fucking-
proud of that name, to be completely honest.
I think
wish we
Icon
had a
Hip Hop
better
is
one.
sweet, man.
Yeah. But so I mean, that guy was just threatening us nonstop with bullshit, saying he was gonna come to my house and beat us up. So we changed the name rapidly at the last minute, and then it just kind of stuck. We were like, oh, this will be our temporary thing, and then we'll come up with another brand name later. And then we all suck at naming stuff, so it just stuck.
Don't be putting yourself down.
Yeah, that was just kind of
You got fucking Ghettofab, which is pretty a good name.
I like it.
Named yourself, and then you got Icon Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Did any young rapper, young prospect come up and go, I have no name, and then you're like, yeah, I'll name you, or
That's never happened.
Never happened, no.
Nah.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that if somebody asked me that.
I know,
like,
I never
name
would as well.
yourself, you fucking.
Yeah, there's Wu-Tang Clan name generator that I went on to. You can try that.
Want me to take a leak?
Oh, I'm mad for piss as well, man. Where were we? Fuck.
Well, I just talked a whole bunch of shit about Sam Burrows.
Yeah. You buried Sam Burrows.
Buried that motherfucker, yeah. No, all his goofy little friends are gonna watch this and say dumb shit to me on Instagram now, so that'll be fun.
I look forward to the comments.
Enjoy that little bump. Thanks, dildos. On his behalf, too.
Yeah, cheers. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll split the beef.
Yeah, split the beef podcast.
Sorry, split the E, sorry. So you were in the mutton after that for a little
bit longer. I think we had a
longer.
couple more ciphers in there. Because like 2 weeks after we axed Sam Burrows, the mutton burned down.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So, yeah, that sucked.
From ashes, a phoenix rises.
Of course. Yeah.
And,
it was a fucking crazy day, man. We showed up, fire trucks everywhere.
Was it like it wasn't like completely ruined, was it?
Well, no, like the bones of the building were still there, but like like the roof had all collapsed in, all the drywall had collapsed in. It was mostly water damage. The Motten didn't even experience any fire damage, actually. It was just all on top. The SROs burnt, and then all the water came down, and it was so much water. I mean, it completely wiped out the building. Like, it fucked it completely. Like, all the equipment, a lot of equipment got wrecked.
Oh, shit, yeah, Jesus.
Because they were podcasting in that studio, they were doing painting in that studio, all sorts of different, media production in there. So there was a lot of equipment, a lot of expensive equipment that got. I think he was insured. I think so. It wasn't terrible.
Thank you, Truth, for making this song, because this is basically what I'm going off for the whole interview. Listen to the song; it's epic, by the way. Till Infinity.
I'll give you the raw. You can put it on here if you want.
I will. Man,
yeah,
I was gonna
sure.
fucking. I was gonna screen record it anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
Where was I going with this?
He laid out the timeline.
Sorry?
Truth laid out the timeline.
He does, yeah. But there was a question there I can completely forget now. Go on, what were you saying?
It was a crazy day, man. There was water damage absolutely motherfucking everywhere. Me and, at the time, my girlfriend Sam showed up, and she was a big part of the Motten as well. And we just did everything we could. We loaded that place up. We got all that shit.
Ye went off and did a fundraiser.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Epic.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to collaborate with a guy named Roberto, the ice cream man. He's this crazy motherfucker that came into the story around this point. And he never got his love in that song, but he deserves it. Because he was a big part of our story too. Roberto. Shout
out to him.
Fucking love Roberto. Crazy bastard. Crazy bastard.
Next time I'm at the cypher, if he's there, please.
Nobody deserves the name Crazy Bastard more than Roberto, but yeah, this guy.
Is he Mexican? Is he?
Middle-aged dude goes out and buys a ice cream truck and a PK sound system with a couple of dual 18s and 4 12-inch tops and monitors and thousands of dollars worth of cables and all sorts. He's got an X32 mixer and the whole bang, tents and stage panels and everything.
Is he still selling ice cream in it, or no? It's
no,
just
well, he sort of had some ice cream thing going on. It was just a little cooler in the side, just to keep the appearance of being
cream.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, he right away saw what we were doing, loved what we were doing, and wanted to collaborate with us. And we already actually had a collaboration on the books for this Thursday that was coming up. I think it was the Thursday after the Motten burned down, and it burned down on like a Saturday or something. So it was just like 5 days away or something like that, right? And we all met up, I think, on the Monday, and decided to change over our whole collaboration with the ice cream truck into a fundraiser for the Motten and for the people in the SROs more than anything. That they all lost their homes, right? Because we're just a bunch of art dicks, but there's people that actually lost their homes, and they lost all their stuff too, right?
Oh, fuck, man! I didn't know that at all.
That was the primary, main objective for our fundraiser, and we did really good. I think we got like over $1,000 for Rain City Housing, and a ton of physical donations, a bunch of food and clothing and toiletries and stuff like that. So it was a good event. It was a great turnout. We did it in Victory Square Park. I think there was about 400 people there at peak, and it was a wild night. We had people from Chile and Mexico and all over South America, and a bunch of Canadians and a Japanese dude, and it was wild, man. We lit it up and showed everybody what we were doing, kind of undercover for the longest time. And that was actually like our first like big outdoor cypher. And from there, the ice cream man started sponsoring us and letting us use his stuff pretty much whenever. Like he, in a very short amount of time, he gave me and Sol literally the keys to his storage locker. Just said, come take what you need whenever
you need it.
Whoa. Yeah, so we pretty much just had this like under the guy's house. You open it up and there's this storage locker full of like everything a guy like me could fantasize about.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, we had pretty close to free reign of it. And we used that to our advantage in every situation we possibly could. We did collaborations with other groups. We did a collaboration with Book Club.
Yeah.
And did a big outdoor festival there with Ice Cream Truck, Book Club, and Icon Hip Hop. And
was the Ice Cream Man the guy who was sponsoring the outdoor ciphers?
For the most part, yeah.
And he'd like buy loads of like drinks and stuff like that.
No, that was different. That's a different sponsor now. So after the Victory Square cipher, where we raised the money, we went to Plaza Skate Park for our weeklies.
Yeah.
And that's when that era started, and we picked up a shitload of momentum there. Because it's the most public location.
100%.
And it's accessible from the SkyTrain, and it's visible from the SkyTrain.
Yes.
People literally have told me that I was just on the train and I saw this thing and I thought I'd come down and see what you guys were doing.
You also have the soccer pitches, everyone,
Exactly.
and that's 15 aside, that's 3 of them. That's whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
It's
we get a
like
whole bunch of people coming from all sorts of different demographics in that location. It was the most accessible and central location that we had throughout our whole process.
Are you going to go back there this year?
Absolutely. I'll never stop doing ciphers at Plaza.
Yeah.
The city will never stop me. I'm never going to stop doing that. Like,
Yeah.
it's awesome. The people love it. The community loves it. People that live in the condos across the street love it, you know, most of them anyways, you know. But
As you said earlier, it started in a skate park.
Yeah.
But your little kit that you had, you were just running off a car battery.
yeah.
How has your kind of this kit that you have now evolved?
Well, where we're at tech-wise now?
Yeah, for the outdoor ciphers.
For the outdoor ciphers, it's not much different. I mean, at the time, yeah, we're working with Roberto, the ice cream man, and he's hooking us up with like a Honda E2200 generator. So that's
Okay.
a whisper generator, dead silent,
Yeah.
lots of power, more than we need. And we still had the sound system that we made out from the fucking split with the Underdogs. We still had the sound system
had that.
from that, right?
Right.
So that was a perfect combo, and it was all the power we needed for a Plaza cipher. We could have taken the PK out there if we needed to, but we didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unnecessary, right? It was overkill, so for that. And it's just easy to set up our little setup. So it was really solid. But I mean, at the core of it, it's just an interface and a camera, you know? And like, it's the same interface that everybody else has, that, you know, Focusrite 2i2 is plenty,
Yeah.
you know, or whatever. You just need a left and right out and
So
couple of mics in.
at this stage, obviously in the mountain, you'd have a couple of hundred people coming.
No, not in the mountain, no.
How big was the mountain?
The mountain was tiny. 75 people would be packed wall to wall.
Yeah?
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder. And we packed 80, 90, maybe 100 in there a couple times, you know?
Because when you see videos of the cipher, you're getting a lot of people at the outdoor ciphers.
The outdoor ciphers are
And even
ridiculous.
now
yeah.
in your week-to-week events.
Yeah.
Since I got to know you, you were at the Railway Club.
Mm-hmm.
And then did something happen to the Railway Club that they shut down for renovation?
Yeah, so that was right after the Plaza era.
And it was just before you started doing the outdoor ones as well, right?
No, it was right after the outdoor ones. Like we had been doing the Plaza skate park for, I don't know, probably 6-8 weeks, something like that. And again, it was getting cold, right? So we needed a place to go. And there was a little back room club in a Chinese restaurant on Pender, Holy Chow.
Yeah.
Really nice guy.
They do comedy as
Christian.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really nice guy. Christian runs the place. And he was super open arms, like, hey, yeah, sure, come in here. He didn't charge us a venue fee or anything. We brought all our own stuff and
Yeah.
system. And we just brought him a bunch of business every Tuesday night, and he loved us, and we loved him, and it was a great little thing that we had going for a long time. And then all of a sudden, I met Shannon at the Railway Club, and like, lovely community.
Sick little venue there.
Yeah, man, just so sick. Like a second floor,
Yeah.
right downtown.
Yeah.
Awesome sound system, similar to the one that we're rocking now. It's antennas, and yeah, good sound guy, good people, good community there, and they were really interested in what we wanted to do. And it was the first time we had access to a real stage. And it was the real
It
deal.
was,
and
yeah,
it was,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
some
yeah, it was
where
stage,
I mean, J. Rue the Damager played there, right? And
The cool thing that we do have to touch on as well, that like anyone that hasn't been to it, the Tuesday night ciphers, it starts off with just a circle, and there's 2 microphones going around,
yeah.
and anyone that wants to partake can partake.
And it sucks, and it's not fun to watch because there's 5 people there, and you know 4
At
of
the
them
very
suck.
beginning,
Yeah, and then somebody kills it.
but someone just fucking sparks it off.
It's fire, man. It's like
Dude,
it's like it's literally exactly like fire. It really is. The spark.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there's a little bit. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
That burning
You know?
ring of fire, isn't
And
that
then you
that?
just start pouring that shit on it. That's what
Yeah.
I'm good at, fueling fires, man.
Where did you get the idea of 2 mics and having a circle?
Well, I mean, the 2 mics in the circle, that's
That's
not
just a
my
generic
idea. Like,
cypher.
that's just the cypher,
Yeah.
yeah. That's just what a cypher is, for the most part.
And you had that in the Underdogs as well, did you?
Oh, of course, yeah. And I mean,
Yeah.
that was like like I say, like the first night I ever went down there, I came down there with a 2-input interface.
Yeah.
I think the first night I came down, I only had 1 microphone. And the second night that I came down, I had 2 microphones because I stole one off of a whale watching boat that I was working on.
Oh, don't tell that to MC Save the Whales.
No, fuck, he's against the whale watchers.
What?
Well, yeah, they
He wants to
exploit
save
all
them.
those poor
He wants
whales.
to save the whales.
They're not making a cut on that shit.
That's true. That's true. Oh my God.
I didn't officially steal it. I actually replaced it with a piece of shit $20 microphone. And I took a Shure SM78 or 58 and I replaced it with some Apex fucking piece of shit that was blown out. It sounded.
It sounds like a
There you
whale.
go.
It's like, if you
I
look
brought
to
that
your
to the cypher. Yeah, and then it was perfect, man. So then finally we had 2 mics, and then the Latinos started battling like motherfuckers, and that was crazy. That always added, like, 'cause that happened right off the bat, you know? Like, the VLF was right there at the core
Yeah.
of the beginning of all of this, you know? Sam Dick will take credit for starting Icon Hip Hop, or he did everything, he made it. He didn't do dick. He didn't do dick, but you know who did? Was the Vancouver Latin Freestyle. Were right there the whole time. They influenced us in a huge way. They were the first people to show us that, like, you should have meetings outside of your events. You guys should have an organization. You guys should have positions. You guys should have a treasurer, and you guys should, you know what I mean,
Oh, yeah.
figure it out.
So
and
how long
actually-
have they been going for?
I don't actually know that. I think about a year and a half longer than us, probably.
way, man.
Because they weren't even that deep into it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're crazy too, because they have like there's like an outfit that's connected to them in every city for the most part, and in the world.
No
right?
way.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
thing called
shit.
BDM, Batalla de Masteros, and
I thought it was a sexual move, to be
the
honest.
BDSM is the other one.
Fuck it.
Yeah. I know. They did the same mistake. Internet searches are
Yeah.
fucking gross, but
delete the S, yeah.
yeah, but
Sorry,
yeah,
what is it actually?
So
We don't
BDM, Batalla de Masteros is like Battle of the Masters, I guess, but
Cool.
it's like a Spanish battle rap league that's worldwide, and they'll do like nationals for every country, and then an international battle every
Has
year.
Vancouver ever held it?
So Vancouver has 2 years ago was the first time ever that a Canadian was
Sick.
represented at that, right? Which is kind of awesome, and it's
Who
kind
was
of
it?
there's a guy named Nicola. I don't know his name properly, but Nikolai.
Okay.
Really nice dude. He's from Montreal.
Okay. Tell me afterwards, and I'll put it up at the bottom
Yeah,
of the
for
screen.
sure. Yeah, we'll show him. Yeah, we'll show him. Yeah, super nice guy, and he killed it. And there was a really exciting national event here at a place called Mangoes on Howe Street.
Nice.
And yeah, the winner went down to Chile and competed, and it was super duper cool that, like, yeah, for the first time a Canadian was represented in this big Latino organization, and I think that was actually really special because it kind of represents like the entire Canadian concept on a whole.
Yeah.
Right? Because like the whole, I mean, to me at least, the whole concept of our country is like, hey, if something sucks and you don't like where you live, come here. It's better. It's fruitful. It's beautiful.
It's
There's
huge.
nice
There's
land
enough room for
everywhere, and
everyone.
It smells nice and
Looks
most
beautiful.
places and looks beautiful. And
That's why I'm here.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's kind of like the spirit of it, and that's, you know, all these different people from all these different Latin American countries come to live in Canada, and we get to see the absolute best of that, the best of, you know, and we get to, in this battle situation, pit them against each other and find out who the greatest, is it a Chilean that's going to represent Canada, or is it a Mexican, or is it a, you know, and that's the edge that Canada has on all these other countries. Like Venezuela is just a bunch of Venezuelans going at it, and Mexico is just a bunch of Mexicans going at it, right? Whereas in Canada, we got the best of every, you know, Latin country going at it here on our turf, and it's going to be, yeah, like representing Canada in that sense, which was a level of strength that I thought was really cool to kind of witness unfold,
sick.
you know?
See, you always, like, Icon Hip Hop, since I've known it now as well, you've also always hooked up with the Latin freestyle.
Always.
There's other ones as well, because I remember you did rap battles in Hastings Street. I'm forgetting the name of that
Historia?
place. The Historia.
Yeah.
He brought a guy over from Florida.
Well, that wasn't us. I mean,
Isaac
that was
Knox.
sort of us. Yeah.
Who was that other people that...
Okay, so there's another outfit.
Hip hop something,
I would
isn't
say
it?
probably the most respectable hip hop organization in the city, maybe other than us, is Set the Bar Entertainment.
Set the Bar.
Yeah,
There
these
you
guys
go.
are rapping it fucking right.
Yeah.
When it comes to like a cappella rap battles, like their community is awesome. The
Yeah.
shit they do is fantastic. Their production is great.
So they're straight up a cappella all the time.
Straight up a cappella all the time. Yeah, they have a slight variation, I think, of like the parameters of the different battles. It'll be like maybe we'll do like 3 rounds, 2 minutes, or more
And they're
advanced
all,
guys will do 3 rounds, 5 minutes, or something like that.
They're all nearly like you're getting in the ring with someone where you know who you're getting in with and you have time
Yeah.
to study them.
Totally,
and stuff
yeah.
like
You have
that,
time to study, and these guys do intense research on one another. They figure out your family and like your history, your ex-girlfriends, like
That's like
they
8
go
Mile
after
shit.
you, man.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
yeah,
And they hold no bars, right? And it's really interesting too, because like we exist in this new
It's called Set the Bar or no?
Set the Bar.
No, okay, yeah,
Set
yeah,
the
yeah,
bar,
yeah.
And we
And
live
the bar
in
is
this like
set
kind of
really, really low.
yeah.
As in, you can go as low as you can go and cut fucking the person to shreds.
Yeah. Well, the bar is set high because some people are incredibly clever and they're able to
the quality is high.
delicately
Yeah.
maneuver through these situations that are not straightforward. And I mean, we live in a woke world. It's a good thing that we're so respectful of all the different people that we live with in the community, but it presents challenges when you're in a room and there's 150 people looking at you and you're going, tear that motherfucker apart. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's tough, you know? So I've seen some people get very creative and find a way to very pleasantly, respectfully, and you know, in a nice way,
Just
tear somebody apart.
tickle
in a way
along
that
the edge.
doesn't break any of the rules.
Yeah.
You know,
Is
and
there
it's not-
rules?
well, there's the unspoken rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have to tell a
jur-
white guy not
yeah.
to say the
Yeah,
N-word. I don't
yeah,
have to tell you say that. Everybody knows
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? There are certain things, right? There's
Yeah.
obvious do's and don'ts, but
That's in general life, right?
yeah. But anyways, back to your original question about the Astoria event. Isaac Knox, yeah, he's a great guy from Florida. It was awesome to have the opportunity to work with the guy. He's actually, I think, primarily a comedian, and then he's
He is,
just
yeah.
like naturally really good.
He also
at,
does improv.
that's right.
Since the show, I've been following him.
Oh,
the
really?
whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there doing fucking like crowd work for a basketball game last week.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
cool dude.
solid guy, and he did a great job. I think he won multiple battles that night. He won his. He
did,
Yeah,
yeah.
He won the freestyle battles, and he won
Yeah.
the writtens as well.
I'm sorry I literally just put a full stop on that very quickly. But it's not just rap. You do like hip hop dancing and then beatboxing as well.
Well, those are again like it's not us. Like it's just different organizations in the city
coming
that
in.
exist that we want to highlight and showcase as well too,
Yeah.
right? So like when you say we do dancing, we try and create a space that's conducive to breakdancing and that's welcoming and supportive of that. So that because I've seen a lot of ciphers where like the circle isn't accommodating dancers right now, and I know that there's dancers in the room and they don't feel like it's their time. So we try to at least take notice of that and figure out who's who in the dance scene at least, and know that we can provide like, you know, back up, you know, give us some room, let the ladies work or let the guys
Yeah.
work or whoever's, you know, doing the thing.
I thought it just all molded together, and it does mold together perfectly in this circle.
There's an element of it that is just like the natural progression, and it's just people showing up at the cypher because they want to be a part of hip hop culture and they want to dance because that's their contribution to it.
Yeah.
But we do directly seek out organizations in specific. So
Like
for
you were
the dancers,
saying, sorry for talking over you, man. But like you were saying with the Spanish, the Hispanic rappers saying that you need to have this kind of office after or beforehand and kind
For
of like
sure.
sort out this.
For sure. And I mean, knowing your strength like helps a lot with these different organizations too, right? And it's like, I'm not going to say that I'm the beatboxing guy or I know how to do the beatboxing guy or be the beatboxing guy, because Cymax exists and West Coast Grooves exists and they're perfect at it, and you know, they're out there crushing it, and I want beatboxing to be represented in my world, but you know, what better way to do that than to showcase this awesome community that's building also in the hip hop, the greater hip hop scene, You know, there's all these little sub communities within it, right? So one of the things that Icon is trying to do, not just in the city but globally, is trying to connect all these little organizations so that we can I kind of want to build an actual directory.
Yeah.
You know, so that you could literally flick through it if you're in Dublin, Ireland. Where's the cyphers at?
Yes.
You know, where's the dance cipher?
Yeah,
you know, is there a
yeah.
beatbox organization in Dublin? Probably. You know?
Yeah, man, rap. I don't come from Dublin. I come from Limerick, right?
Okay.
And the rap scene in Limerick, I'll actually send you on a load of like rappers.
Is it where the limericks come from?
Poetry Limerick over rap beats, yes. I fucked that one up anyways. But man, the rap scene in Limerick is massive right now.
Yeah.
Trying to think of fucking Hazy Haze. Shout out to Hazy Haze, man. I'll send you on some shit right
Fuck
now.
yeah.
He's so good. Citrus Fresh. That's a good name actually, isn't it? Yeah, there's loads. And in Dublin as well. A rap group called Kneecap from fucking Belfast. They were on Jimmy Fallon.
Really?
And they had their first biopic in the Sundance Music Festival. So
Nice.
like rap in Ireland has just been blowing up, man. It's
great.
blowing up, yeah.
It's great.
I was even thinking about like, before coming on, I was like, oh, how did me myself get introduced to rap music? And I'd say subliminally, I'm drunk now, I'm slurring my words, right? But we would drive home, like I live in the countryside, right? But there was this little dodgy bridge that we'd drive over in Ardnacrusha. And there's like a red and black sign, like a hazard sign to say that you have to turn and go over a bridge. And on that, there's graffiti, and it's Tupac that's on the orange. You know, so when you're driving in, your cars light up this sign, and it's a little graffiti sign of Tupac. And then right beside it is the IRA, which is like the Irish Republican Army. Yeah. So like, from the very jump, rap is in your face. You know what I mean? And it's in Ireland, man, in the sticks. Like
it's amazing
it's
to
so
see
crazy,
it. Like
man.
hip hop culture started in New York, and it like went all over the world. And one of the places it went was Santiago, Chile, and from there it came up to Vancouver again, and that was one of the major influences around Icon, me personally, Truth, Soul, all these guys. You know, a lot of the culture was influenced by these Chilenos, you know?
That's crazy.
They were influenced by the New Yorkers, and then you see these different things happening, these different paths, you know? It's like New York didn't directly influence the explosion of rap in Ireland, right?
But then you know,
all
like,
these different little stops it takes, and like you're seeing what's happening in Japan right now, you know, and in Barcelona.
What's going on in Japan?
Oh, dance ciphers like a motherfucker.
Oh,
man.
fuck, yeah.
I mean, they take hip hop dance more seriously than any other country on the planet.
Oh, they're ridiculous.
Those guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah. In Ireland, there's a tie to Ice Cube. Ice Cube's second name is O'Shea.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually an Irish name.
Hell yeah. O'Shea Jackson.
So when he came over, there's a podcaster, like a really big, massive podcaster, and it's like comedian, and he started off in this kind of like rap, kind of funny songs, right? Parody songs. They're pretty good. Got an Irish #1, right? And the name of the track was Horse Outside. Fuck your Honda Civic, I have a horse outside, is the lyric.
Dope.
I'll show it to you. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But they have a picture of when Wu-Tang Clan, or NWA came, and they gave them hurleys. A hurley is like an Irish sport, hurling is an Irish sport. So they're holding up like wooden sticks, Ice Cube is. Pretty cool. It's like fucking, to me, it's like, that's sick.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like,
definitely one of the rough
imagine
guys.
Ice Cube came over here and he was holding a fucking ice hockey stick or something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, waffling there. But what's next, or what's the overall goals for Icon Hip Hop?
I guess the overall goals for Icon Hip Hop are to unify all those in the world who care about this culture at its very core and make it as easy as possible for people that really care about it, that are really dedicated, that really spit real heat over real good beats to get noticed.
Nice.
Yeah, because there should be a direct pipeline to the top for these people. There's like,
And
I consider our direct parents and forefathers, Icon Hip Hop's direct parents and forefathers are Shade 45 and Punchline Academy and Sway in the Morning and, you know, Yo MTV Raps.
Yeah.
You know?
The box or whatever.
Yeah. The Apollo Cypher.
Yeah.
Right? That kind of shit, right? So.
We have the pleasure of doing a bowl party on the May 25th.
Fuck, am I psyched about that.
Cannot wait for that.
Oh
Last
my
year was
God.
epic.
So epic.
You nearly walked on the wrong boat last time.
I did. I actually, yeah. What are the odds? There's two vessels
Irish
full of
cunts.
Irishmen going
Fucking
up there.
full
yeah.
of boats.
Well, fucking silly me. I show
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I'm looking for the Irish guys and the hip hop crews. Oh, right here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, a load of Irish seamen.
I showed up with about 100 hip hop records and 10 rappers, and we had a whole shitload of fun.
That was epic, and I cannot wait to do it again.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it more afterwards, but like we're probably going to do the exact same. You're going to take over the bottom boat
Hell yeah.
for the 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah. I think we'll probably run a couple of sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. Maybe bring a couple beatboxers in, maybe bring a
Sweet.
few dancers through.
Yes.
If we can.
And another thing I do want to touch on is we talked about like the English rap, the Spanish rap, but you also have Japanese rappers as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really like, again, like, it's just whoever comes through,
Yeah.
you know, comes through. There was a guy spitting Russian a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, no way.
It was a Ukrainian kid, but he was, yeah. You know, so people just come through. There is like there's an awesome Asian cipher in Vancouver called Yellowfire. It's not, again, it's not quite the same as what we do because it's a lot more based on like the modern style of hip hop. So it's a little bit more in the, you know, high production, trappy kind of, you know, vocal chain stuff, right? Yeah, no, they're out there doing the thing. Love those guys for sure. And
It's super cool, man.
yeah, we've had a bunch of different languages come through the cipher. Almost every one that I can think of. Almost every language that I can name, I've seen.
Yeah. Man, fucking, I don't know when this is going to be out, but I'll try and snip it up. This weekend is the beatboxing.
Yeah.
And then what's after that?
After that, we have a whole bunch of surprises, fun
There
and
we go.
exciting surprises.
Yeah.
The next biggest thing that we're doing is this filming style that we're doing. It's like Icon Hip Hop House Party is what we're calling it.
Oh, nice.
Basically, we're trying to shoot a music video, do a live performance, and record a song at the same time. So we're trying to bring as many people as we possibly can in. And then in the pit style, like we usually shoot our ciphers,
Yeah.
we're gonna have our artists doing 3-song sets of their, you know, pre-made material, and they'll be doing live versions of that, one-take versions of that. That'll be a complete and total authentic representation of their skill set and talent. There'll be no smoke and mirrors or bullshit. Obviously, we'll, you know, produce their audio and edit their audio within reason, but
Get
you know,
the crowd kind of like the fuzzle or whatever. Yeah.
100%, yeah. So the idea is to basically just film
Make it
the
raw.
real life scene in the music video of everyone killing it at the big cipher. We're just gonna do that, but for real.
Oh, cool.
And we shot our first episode a couple of weeks ago. We're in the process right now, putting it all together, and it'll be out real soon. Yeah, it's the Icon Hip Hop House Party. You can see Truth, Amy Chella, and Montenegro on the first episode. We'll be putting those out in 3 individual videos,
No way.
as well as social media clips. And then the next one is going to be on April 26th, and we're excited to be working with the original DJ Chemo, who is he's kind of the guy around here. He's been heavily involved in every major hip hop movement to happen in this city since the 90s. He's either produced songs for people or been the DJ for the biggest group in the city, or he's been, You know, he organizes some of the biggest and best club events in the city currently. He has a fantastic reputation as an organizer and as a DJ in general, and just overall, like as a member
Straight
of the
up
hip
nice
hop
guy as
world.
well.
Yeah, and he's from Chile, so
No
that
way.
helps a lot.
I
A lot of
didn't
our
know that the whole like influx of hip hop came from Chile and South America.
Well, I'd say so. I mean, they had more influence over the direction of our whole scene than I think any other outside force did.
That's
was the Vancouver Latin
fucking
freestyle
knowledge
one.
for me. That's
Yeah.
something that I take away from today.
For sure, yeah.
There is one thing I just want to name off, like the absolute privilege to go to a cypher and see all these rappers. MC Rami, King Cass, Jose Radix, Josie Radix, Cyber T, Bobby Blaze, Truth the Rapper, Soul, Channel 5, MC Save the Whales, The Gold Kid, AK, and O2O crew.
OTO crew.
Oh, fucking dyslexic crew I am. Yeah, all of them and more.
And shout out to Curb the Kid and Too Late
Yeah.
and the Roughnecks.
Graffiti.
And Graffiti's a murderer.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I mean, there's so many people in this scene. And, you know, the list
And
goes
it's only
on
growing.
and on and on.
It's only growing. Like,
Yeah.
it's fucking what you're doing, man.
We want to do
is-
exactly this shit everywhere, you know? I mean, it's not big enough in Vancouver because there's not enough
Yeah.
of us in Vancouver. There's only 2 million people here. You go down south into the next city, there's 3.5 million people.
Yeah.
And there's not even enough rappers down there.
Yeah.
So we're trying to put Seattle and Vancouver together,
man,
and that's not enough.
we
So
have-
then let's put Portland in the mix, and that's not enough. So let's get LA and New York and
right
Austin,
now-
Texas.
Right now, we haven't even touched on your new spot now is 280 Kiefer Street.
Fuck, is that cool?
Yes, that is sick.
Yeah.
That art studio or whatever you want to call it, the
Yeah.
community vibe that they, dude. Who did all the graffiti for that?
Let me name some people. Elvo, Smokey D, Grow Up, No Face, Maze, Soul,
Check out his new album as well. It's fucking sick.
and Tuner.
Yeah.
Tuner's the out of towner there. All those guys that
Yeah.
I named are absolute Vancouver OG legends.
Yeah.
Tuner's from out of town, also a legend, super dope dude. But yeah, no, it's some great art on the walls in there. And that's, you know, the
And
first thing we saw when we moved in there, right? And
That was there when you moved in too?
yeah.
Man, you get fucking blessed with these venues, man.
I had nothing to do with it. I didn't put the place together in the first place. I just
you
showed
built the
up. I
piss
needed
trough.
Yeah, I built a piss trough. That's true. I just needed a place to cipher, and you know they had a place that would work out perfectly for us.
Yeah.
And you know they weren't using it during those hours, and I was like, "Fuck, let me put a stage and a sound system in here, turn this into a bit of a spot for some performances." And they were
That's
super
exactly what you
receptive
did.
to it, and
Yeah, that's exactly what you did, man.
Yeah,
I fucking wish you the best in everything that you do. Also, I could not leave. I know I'm wrapping it up. I'm coming to wrapping it up, but you bring over artists as well. You had Action Bronson, and you had.
Oh no, we didn't do Action.
You didn't
Bronson.
Action Bronson?
No.
Did you bring the Souls of Mischief?
No.
You didn't do any of that?
No, we did media for both those shows. We can't do that. shit.
You're
Yeah.
still in on that. Though.
Yeah. No, we didn't do that. Yeah. The Action Bronson.
Did you get to meet him?
No.
No?
Action Bronson was not that fun to do. He's too famous, I think. It's like the Souls of Mischief are all like super down to earth, chill guys. Some of the nicest people I ever met.
Yeah.
Shout out to Breakbeat Lou. He's fucking awesome. We spent a long time talking. And A+ as well. So they were really easy to talk to, but Action Bronson, yeah, he's too famous, man. And like, there was a ton of rules around that too. They're like, yeah, you can shoot, but you can only shoot during the first like 3 songs or whatever, and then he gets probably presumably too sweaty or whatever.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I think a lot of artists have that rule. It's not just him. There's a few that
Okay.
yeah. Talib Kweli was another one. We did media for that one.
No
He was-
way.
Yeah, you're not allowed to shoot him after the 3rd song, right?
Okay.
And I'm
I
like,
never knew that. Okay, right.
Yeah, and then a bunch of stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, we'll just try and anytime we have an opportunity
Still, man,
with a different promoter,
you're still in
we'll get in there and
you're
do
still in the mix, right?
whatever media we can for these people, right? Because they appreciate it too. The artists appreciate it too.
Yeah,
There's someone
100%.
out there making content that they can post or share or make them look cool. Or
Facts.
whatever.
Dude, your honesty and generosity have never escaped my memory. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Get your boat party tickets, May 25th, and when is the next Cypher? Next Friday, and if it's not this Friday that I make it, it's the Friday after that. And you're going to do summer, are they going to be on Fridays?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be on Fridays or what they're going to be, but get ready to see us on, follow Icon Hip Hop and we'll take damn good care of you.
Oh, that's for sure.
In this city.
They are the most friendly, communicative, like just everyone fist pumping and hugging. They might slag the shit out of you in a rap, but they're going to love you at the end. And thank you so much, man.
Cheers, buddy.